Ladies and gentlemen, today we have an insane video to get into. We have just crazy leaks, rumors, updates. We have it all. And this video, man, has some really exciting stuff. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. You never really know when you're making a video like how good the video is going to be. You just try your best. This video is a banger because there's just so much crazy news going on. Even though we're near the end of the year, it doesn't matter. The news and leaks keep on coming. So I'm going to keep talking about them. But before we do that, I just got to say, we probably have 24,000 subscribers by this point. And if that's the case, thank you so much. It means the world. That was my end of the year goal. And we got 500 subscribers this week. What the hell is going on here, man? So thank you for that. Let's try to hit 25,000 before the end of the year now. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So hit a like and subscribe if you could. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep the communities growing. And here in a couple days, I should be doing a massive giveaway. I partnered with a really cool company. So I'm just trying to get all that figured out. So be on the lookout for that. But let's go ahead and get right into this one. So this video really has everything. Let's start talking about The Legend of Zelda. We have some Zelda updates and then some Zelda leaks. So there's this report coming out. I mean, it's directly from Nintendo. They just recently sat down with Monolith Soft, and it was a really cool interview. I think it's only in Japanese, but you can watch it, I think, with subtitles. But I've just, kind of read the translation. But Nintendo says they would like Monolith Soft to handle more and more core parts in creating Zelda games. Monolith Soft is a strong partner in creating Zelda games from scratch. Based on the know-how we've cultivated through working together until now, let's further raise the team strength of Monolith Soft as a whole and continue to create unique series titles together. Monolith Soft is an amazing company. I think Nintendo owns like 70% of them, or they might own the entire company, I'm not sure. But Monolith Soft creates some of the best gaming worlds and environments. And I'm pretty sure when I was reading the translation, they broke down like what Monolith Soft did on each Zelda game they worked on. And they just keep increasing the work that they're putting in. Shigeru Miyamoto and Aonuma and all these guys are eventually going to age out. Maybe they'll still give some advice, but I don't know where the future of Zelda will go, let's just say in a decade. I'm sure it's going to be something promising and exciting. But if anybody, and I'm not saying they need to take the reins, but if anybody can really put a massive input in and put their spin on it and really be involved, Monolith Soft obviously makes the most sense. So I think this is just awesome. And if they're taking on more and more work or putting in more input, I think this gives us hints at the next Legend of Zelda game. Again, massively open world. That's probably the direction we're going to go. And it's just going to have some really unique environments as well. I would like to have more linear Zelda games again. Maybe they'll do remakes or 2D games or whatever. I just really enjoy that. But massive open world Zelda games are probably what it's going to be from here on out. But we also have a Zelda leak as well. It's not the craziest leak. So a couple weeks ago, I think at this point, we seen Nintendo put out the first real official images of the Zelda movie with the actors. And then we had people sneaking into the set and leaking video clips. I'm pretty sure this is the same exact person who leaked those clips. So I think they snuck in again, or maybe these were from then and now they're just releasing them. And essentially it's like the same scenes, just filmed from different angles, or them just setting up differently. I don't know, man. I was staunchly, is that a word, staunchly? I was staunchly against this live action Zelda movie. But the more and more I'm seeing stuff from it, I just think it's going to be freaking awesome. But one thing the Zelda movie might actually force is in the next big Zelda game, Link actually might have a voice actor for once. So I'm just curious how they're going to play all this out. Quickly before we move on to some other really exciting news and leaks, I have a very, also exciting update for you. The Nintendo Switch 2 is currently on sale right now for a hugely discounted price. So this is at Micro Center, which is like Office Depot, and I think it's just like a computer tech office store or whatever. But the Nintendo Switch 2 is currently $399 at Micro Center in stores. So I don't know if you can do this online, but this is in stores. But what's really cool about this is some retailers will price match this. Like I know Best Buy 100% will price match this. So maybe Walmart or Target or a couple other retailers will as well. So maybe if you have certain memberships through those retailers or have certain coupons, you could even get this Switch 2 for a more discounted price. But yeah, man, $400 for the Switch 2 going into the holidays, that is a fantastic deal. So now let's get into a leak, which I think is exciting for what it promises, right? But due to recent circumstances or recent events, at the same time, I'm like, this is probably going to be awful, knowing what we know now. And this leak isn't like the craziest thing. This has been rumored for quite a while from very credible places like Nate the Hate and a few other people, and it just makes sense when you think about it. Starfield is headed to the PS5 and Switch 2 in 2026, a new report says. It is going to be a Cyberpunk 2077 2.0 scale update that will reinvent the game, including seamless space travel. So a couple things to take from this, right? The game is going multi-platform. We all assume this. It is what it is. Stuff coming from Xbox, I mean, at least software, this is the only way I think a lot of those studios can survive, or well, whatever, you know. I don't really care about the reasons. I think it's interesting. I love Fallout. I love Skyrim. I love space stuff. Starfield doesn't scratch any of those itches for me. So they say this is going to be a Cyberpunk 2077 2.0 scale, and that 2.0, 2.0, whatever. I mean, I'm currently playing Cyberpunk 2077, like finishing the DLC now on my Switch 2. It's my second time beating it. It's tied for my top favorite game of all time. There's no way possible they're going to reach that impact, right? Cyberpunk was broken at launch. So 2.0 basically gave you the game that was promised, or at least close to it. And then right after that came the DLC, I believe. Starfield was not broken at launch. It's just freaking boring from everything I've seen. I have not played the game, but I think across the board, you know, 99% of the people who played it would say, yeah, the game is boring. There's people who enjoyed it out there, but it doesn't matter. A boring game is just boring. Maybe they can fix it, and if they can, maybe I'll be interested one day. But here's why I was saying this was interesting or exciting until recent events. We recently got Skyrim, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, a game that is 14 going on 15 years old, and that launched pretty much broken, and that is crazy. I literally watched the Digital Foundry video today about the input lag on Skyrim, and it is comically bad. Like, it's damn near unplayable. They had 14 years to cook, man. It was already on the Switch. And not only that, the game launched with double the download size. And the reason why is they included every language pack installed, and each language is 3 gigabytes each, which makes no sense. Why would you do that? Let me just download the damn language that I need. So double the size of the download, broken input lag, and 30 frames per second. If that's what they're doing for a 14-year-old game that was already on the previous console, what do you think Starfield is going to launch like? What do you think the Fallout 4 port is going to launch like, right? Yes, I think it's cool and interesting. It will make an appearance on the Switch too, but no part of me is excited, and no part of me even believes that it's going to be even playable. You know what I mean? Just going off what they've gave us recently. Now we do have a very promising update, and I heard this came directly from Nintendo. I've seen a bunch of different sources, but originally stated I think it came from Nintendo. But yeah, I think it's promising, but at the same time it's like, who the hell knows, right? And what I'm talking about is Switch 2 game key cards. My opinion has went back and forth multiple times. At first I didn't care because I thought it was similar to how you have to download a PS5 disc. You put it in, you have to download. Then somebody said, no, the game is on the disc, you're just copying it. A game key card, nothing is on it, you're just downloading the whole thing from the internet. So I thought, well, that's stupid. But then some games, it's warranted, right? Star Wars Outlaws, the cartridge download speed is not enough. Then you have Final Fantasy VII Remake, which just got a demo, which is amazing. Oh my God, it looks so good. So go play that demo if you haven't played it. I think I'm really going to double dip on the game, but it won't fit on any of the cartridges. I think it's like 90 something gigabytes. So again, a game key card is warranted there. Then you have games that can fit on the 64 gigabyte cartridge. Some of these games are 10, 15, 20 gigabytes, so they can fit on the cartridge, but then it doesn't really make sense to pay that tax for the 64 gigabyte cartridge when they're not offering another option. Now, I think Nintendo has finally listened to the feedback, so let's break this down. So I'm just going to show you a couple posts, but you can check it out for yourself. Heard big rumors for physical Switch 2 games. Sounds like new card sizes, 16 gigabytes and 32 gigabytes might finally be on the menu. Certainly not this year, which, you know, there's like 12 days left in this year or whatever. And it remains to be seen if how it will affect prices, margins, and the willingness from publishers to release games properly. And that is a big factor, what the publishers want to do. So in the same report, it's saying publishers are paying $16 per 64 gigabyte cartridges. But then I read another report, which I don't have pulled up right here, so forgive me, that these 16 gigabyte cartridges would cost $17 and the 32 gigabytes would cost $24. So if that's the case, I don't understand how the 64 gigabytes would be $16. Maybe this has to do with the price increase recently, with storage and memory and all that good stuff. But yeah, I don't know. You know, if that's the case, let's just go bare minimum. You have a 16 gigabyte cartridge that costs $16. If you're an indie game and you're selling your game for $30 and the cartridge costs $16, and then all these other people have to make money on top of it, what are you making? Like $5, maybe $5 per game? So then it doesn't make sense. But then some people still want a physical. So then you say, well, I only release it digital, or I give people a quote unquote physical option and it's a game key card. So obviously whatever comes from this, we won't see in 2025, and that's all fine and dandy. But I think at least the ball is rolling, right? We don't know where that ball will land, but the ball is rolling. I think Nintendo got enough feedback. Maybe it's from those surveys, maybe it's from the discourse online. I do think more physical options will be on the table next year. Maybe for not the small indie titles, which that sucks, but we'll see, you know. And before we get out of here, we have a potential look at some kind of new Nintendo console something, right? I don't really know what's going on here, but let's check it out quickly. So as you can see, I found the patent that was published today. I'm recording this video December 18th. Electronic device and medium casing device, okay? So the electronic device is obviously a handheld. Sometimes when I see these handhelds, I'm like, maybe they're just being coy and it's the Switch or the Switch 2. But a lot of times they'll show the actual Switch and Switch 2. And I've had this weird theory that Nintendo's going to release like another dedicated handheld, like a Game Boy style handheld that has maybe just 2D games on it or something like that. But that's just a far-fetched theory. Even though this picture is flipped upside down, you can see this is a power button, volume buttons, and then where the actual game cartridge will go into. But you can see right here, there's a game cartridge going into the console. So at the same time, I don't know. What I'm almost thinking is you might be able to put the actual game inside of the dock some way, somehow. Something. I don't know. I just think this is a revision. Maybe it's for a Switch 2 Lite. Maybe it's for a new dock. Maybe it's some kind of new Switch we'll get that will have a new dock or something. But this is very vague, and Nintendo will normally say like Switch or Switch 2. Like they won't say the name, but they'll show actual pictures. And the fact they're not showing a picture of the Switch or Switch 2 makes me think of Switch 2 Lite, or maybe some kind of new dock or something, but I find it very interesting. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. Like I said, we're probably at 24,000 subscribers now, so thank you so much for that. We have like what, 12 days left in the year. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to try to get to 25,000 subscribers in 12 days. That's 1,000 subscribers in 12 days. Fudge it. I'm going to try it. You might as well when you got to this point with your support. So thanks for everything. And yeah, I'm working out the details with this company, but I should be doing a pretty big giveaway very soon, like multiple giveaways with this company. So be on the lookout for that. Massive eShop sale video tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. And you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.